In Israel this evening outside Tel Aviv, 3 buses exploded in a parking lot in a suspected militant attack. Explosives were found on 2 other buses and neutralized. There were no reported injuries. That further rattled the nation after the return today of the remains of 4 hostages held by Hamas in Gaza. The top UN human rights official called the jeering, taunting display during the handover abhorrent and cruel. And while the scene sparked outrage in Israel and beyond, the emotions of many are tempered by the return of hostages still alive, as the NewsHour saw this past weekend in southern Israel. In Khan Yunis in southern Gaza today, before a crowd of hundreds, with music and fanfare, Hamas held a grim and ghastly ceremony, releasing the remains of 4 Israeli hostages killed in captivity. As the bodies returned home to Israel, a palpable sense of grief and agony.
We hope that they will come back alive, all of them. They were murdered.
They were the bodies of Ariel and Kfir Bibas and their mother, Shiri Bibas. Barely 9 months old, on October 7, 2023, Kfir was the youngest hostage who spent the majority of his short life in captivity. This video of Shiri embracing her 2 boys as they were kidnapped from their Nir Oz home became a symbol of the brutality of the October 7th attacks.
We remember the picture of her standing here under this bush with a blanket and crying.
In December, the NewsHour visited the Bibas home and saw evidence of the horrors that unfolded there. The only survivor, Shiri's husband and the boy's father, Yarden Bibas, who was released 2 weeks ago. The hopes of another family also ending in tragedy. Oded Lifshitz was kidnapped with his wife of more than 60 years. She was released in November 2023. But today, Lifshitz, who was an artist who worked for peace between Palestinians and Israelis, was returned in a coffin. Israeli forensic officials said he was likely killed in captivity over a year ago.
Today, 503 days after the October 7th massacre, the body of Mr. Lifshitz, who was murdered more than a year ago in captivity, has been identified.
Israel is a country in mourning, and for some the day is marked with rage.
We got up to this morning with a very bad feeling, very broken trust with our country, yes, with our government. I'm not ashamed to say it.
But Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vowed to avenge them.
Our hearts are broken, but our spirits are not broken. And with this spirit, we will return all our hostages, annihilate the murderers, wipe out Hamas, and together, with God's help, secure our future.
All that many hostage families want is for their loved ones home again. And for 3 families, last weekend, what was once imagined became real. The NewsHour was there as the friends and family of Israeli-American hostage Sagi Deckelhen watched and waited for the moment he was released from captivity.
We just saw him, he's fine, everything is fine. We just want everybody right now to come back. All the families deserve this day that we are experiencing here.
Deckelhen was released by Hamas last Saturday, along with 2 other Nir Oz residents, Sasha Trufanov in red and Yair Horn on the far left. Back in Israel, a tearful reunion for Sagi in the arms of his wife, embracing his mother and father. He learned the name of his 3rd child for the first time, born 2 months after he was kidnapped. She's now just over a year old, with her father finally home. Another released hostage, Sasha Trufanov, returned to his mother, and Yair Horn reunited with his father.
Sasha is an amazing guy. Always I told him, you are such a tall and big person, but inside you are such a amazing boy. And also Yair, we love him so much. He's such a funny person.
Neighbors, family, and friends gathered at Horn's pub. It had been closed since the October 7th attack 16 months ago. It was reopening now for the first time.
He was the king of this pub. He was in charge of it with his friend Martin. and we miss him so much, and we're so happy that he's back, and I hope that he's going to come back and open his place again.
Of the nearly 500 residents in Nir Oz, nearly a quarter were killed or kidnapped into Gaza.
The families of the people who are alive and the families of those who are not alive, everybody needs to come back, if to be again with their families or to be buried properly in Israel.
A community now anxiously awaiting their return, along with the rest of a rattled nation.